Hello, everyone, and welcome to Morning Coffee Break. Hot, hot coffee. I hope everybody's doing good this morning. I feel okay. Usual aches and pains. My knee's all better, but that's the knee that hurts, on its own. It's got arthritis in it or something. Sure, that's what it is. I got it all in every joint and hands. Um, but I mean, as far as the way it was, swollen and hurting worse, that's gone. Um, but the usual things that bother me is that knee, my left shoulder. I don't know why everything's mainly on my left side that hurts. I don't understand that. But and this right hand, I guess because I use it so much to write all day long and do type stuff on YouTube and other things, Facebook and stuff, Instagram, and it just really gets to it. Especially after mowing, I noticed it'll hurt. I mean, it hurts all the time anymore. This one's not as bad. I can feel it a little bit, but I can't. I can't even snap my fingers uh, properly without. I mean, I can do it, but it would really hurt. So something that's it's typical with Crohn's disease to get arthritis in your joints. So this, I mean, I don't like taking Tylenol all the time either. It can I think it can damage your liver or something. So I try not to take too much of that, but what are you going to do? Sometimes you got to. Okay, today's Wednesday, August 31st. Last day already of August. It's gone. So it'll be September. Currently it's 66 degrees. High today's 82. No chance of rain. Real humid right now. We had a little rain yesterday. If you've seen the short, I did a short while we were out running around. And it just came up all of a sudden, and not but a couple minutes after that short, it quit. But it was a lot. It's heavy, pretty heavy rain there for a bit. So the garden got some rain. So I think it'll be okay today too, uh, without me having to water. There's no wind, and air quality's 80. That's moderate. Okay, today there will be a. I'm gonna make sure. Yeah, it's a cooking with Chef Mike video, and it's something kind of simple, but it's really good, and it's a good idea, and we might start doing more of it. I mean, I know it's convenient. They're French fries, homemade French fries, is what I made, and they are so good. They're fantastic, um, and it's cheaper. It's got to be cheaper than buying frozen. Frozen ones are so convenient, though. You don't have to cut them up. You just throw them in there. Put if you want seasoning on them. I got French fry seasoning, so it's convenient. But next time that we get some fries, some frozen ones, I'm gonna look at the nutrition facts because I've never looked, and I want to look at the ingredients also because I have an idea that they probably have preservatives and other chemicals and stuff in it. So it's much more, I'm sure it's more healthy to make your own fries, put your own seasonings on there. And yes, I did put some salt. There's salt in the French fry seasoning, but I didn't go crazy with it. I mean, they weren't salty, because I didn't put too much of it. But I just thought, maybe some people don't know how to make these, or maybe this is different than they might do. So I did that. I did a cooking video, and I think it turned out really good. I'm starting to learn a little bit more about editing and stuff, and I'm learning that it takes a long time to properly, if you want to really edit quite a bit of stuff on one, it takes a long time, at least on my phone. It's got an editor built in. I've never, I mean, I've tried to do ones before, and some of them were difficult to use. They were confusing apps I'm talking about. But then I realized, you know, my phone has its own editing app in there, but I don't know, I guess there's ones that you can do more things than I'm doing, but I need to learn how to use my basic editor first before I even try to get even fancier or anything. So I don't know if some of you, I hope y'all have noticed the pop-up things, you know, where it says morning coffee break, or smash the like button and then thank you at the end. Um, I like them in there. I hope y'all like them. Let me know if you do, because it does take a little bit to get that done. Each thing you do, it has to save the video each time, so it takes, and that takes a long time for some reason. I don't know why it takes so long, but you know, it takes a little while, but I think it's worth it. I think it looks good. And let's see. So yeah, so last night though, we had ranch pork chops with rice and green beans. A good, like, home style meal. And first time we tried this recipe. It's very simple. Maybe I don't know. Next time maybe I'll do a cook with me. I didn't, because I did. I was making something else. I made that cherry roll. Check out the short on the cherry roll one I made for dessert. But this was made. These were made in the crock pot. And see, what it was, just, you just put them in there. I seasoned them, and then you just spread, I think it was cream of chicken soup over it, and then put a package of ranch dressing mix on top of that. And I added a little water to mine because the pork chops were kind of small, and I thought they might kind of not dry up, but I thought they might need a little bit of water to keep them nice and moist, which I'm glad it did, because it made some good gravy. I put, I don't know, maybe half a cup of water or less in there, just enough to, I didn't want it to, like, burn on the outside, so I put it on low instead of high. But they were fantastic, and it was just went perfect with rice. We had some of those ready rice, the ones that are already, you just microwave them, that we got at Grocery Outlet, and we had that with it, and had a can of green beans. I've got more green beans out there I'm going to have to get here soon, because I think that the plant's starting to die a little bit, but there's more green beans growing, so I'm trying to let the little ones get a little bigger to where we can, big enough to eat. But here's what last night, I started to do a short on this also, but I already had a short on the cherry roll, which is, by the way, it's gone now. I already had a short on it. See that gravy it made, and it's fantastic. And I'm glad I had some packets of Aldi brand ranch dressing mix. I don't know if it says that on it, but you know, it's the equivalent of ranch. Because I had a container of the ranch seasoning, which is the same thing from Hidden Valley, and it'd been a while since I used it, and I don't know if it's from the heat or what, but it just all turned into a lump in there. I just threw it out. I mean, you couldn't use it. So I was glad I had some packets of the, like I said, it was the Aldi brand ranch dressing mix. What? Oh, there's my pen. So anyway, it turned out great. It was a real good dinner. And everything's gone. And then the cherry roll, definitely check it out. It's easy to make. And I just really came up with it on my own, but I'm sure there's probably a recipe out there like that. But in the short for the cherry roll, in the description, I put the recipe and how to make it, and the icing, how to make it. And I noticed on shorts, to get to the description, you know, it's easy on a regular video. Down on the right, lower right corner, there's 3 dots. Press those dots, and then there'll be a little list of things you can press after that. And first one's description. Press that, and you'll see the recipe. Very easy. And you could use any. I think any pie filling would work, but apple would probably be harder because they're lumpy. You know, you might have to cut up the apples a little bit so you don't have a lump sticking here and there. But yeah, any pie filling would work. And what's for dinner? I didn't even think about. We were so busy, and then we did Logan's awesome snack reviews and everything, and we were so busy. I didn't even think about putting anything out for tonight. So we'll probably end up having something like sandwiches. I don't know if we still have any fries or not. We got some hash browns. So we need to. I keep mentioning those, and we need to eat them, and we don't eat them. But they're all right. It's not like they're good. I mean, they're not an off-brand or anything. Hey, you can't hardly go wrong with hash browns anyway. I mean, they're all about the same. But anyway, so I think we'll just have sandwiches and something, unless we talk and decide on something different. Okay, let's see. I didn't have many of today's tidbits. It's hard to find one. There's so much bad news going on in the world, and it's a lot of it's weather related, which that's what they're about mainly. So I did find a few though. Study zombie ice to raise global sea level by 10 inches. And that 10 inches, if that actually happens, that might flood some places that are at sea level. If a city is at sea level, they would probably have to build some kind of wall, or something around it. But anyway, that's what it looks like. And it says, as per the Geological Survey of Denmark and Greenland, zombie ice from Greenland will eventually raise the global sea level by at least 10 inches. That wouldn't be any time, like overnight or anything, though. Zombie ice is ice that is still attached to thicker areas of ice, but is no longer being fed by larger glaciers. Glaciologists, I hope I pronounced that right, say that such ice will melt due to climate change and cause sea level rise. Yeah, there's some, look at, let's say Venice or something. It's right there, water all around it anyway. I would imagine that would be, like 100 years or something, though. I'm just guessing. I don't know for sure. And I like this picture. There's a lot of fairs going on right now. I haven't really heard anything about ours. We don't watch local news all the time, though. But our fair would be around this time. And we used to go. But boy, it'll wear you out. And Logan, he can't, he wouldn't be able to go. He can't hardly walk as it is, so he couldn't go. I remember, though, carrying Logan around. Nothing was wrong with him. He was tired when he was little, I remember having to, him being so sleepy, I just carried him when he was just a toddler and stuff there after he had a lot of fun and just, was wore out. And of course, we took Jackie after she was big enough to go. But we haven't been to the fair in so many years, it's unbelievable. For one, I used to have to work. The company I worked for, we would have to go up there. We supplied a lot of the, concessions with their food. And it was a big deal. Our company made a lot of money off that one thing, so everybody had to pitch in pretty much because we didn't have a whole lot of employees. So I would put in probably the week of the fair, I'd probably have to put in about 70 hours of work because I had to do my regular work and then after I was done, go to the fair and be there till the evening. Oh, I don't miss that. That's really a lot of work. When I got home, I just ate something and fell to sleep, basically. But this one says less than 35,000 attend New York State Fair due to rain. They had record attendance or, better attendance in the last 2 or 3 years. The one I was talking about, I guess, yesterday. But it says Tuesday's attendance at the New York State Fair was only 34,481 as rain shut down the Midway, postponed concerts, and canceled parades. The fair's Tuesday attendance is the lowest single-day total. There may be a few showers on Wednesday. If it does rain, there is a potential of thunderstorms, and it will likely happen before 9 a.m. or at night. I like that picture. I'll probably use that for a thumbnail because right now there's a lot of fairs going on. I think it would be a good one to use. Mount Rainier ice caves showcase a surreal, colorful view. Look at that. Photographer Matthew Nichols hike into an ice cave near Mount Rainier turned into an incredible experience as the ice was brilliantly colored. The varied range of colors was caused by multiple lighting effects and the presence of dust and dirt particles. The color lasted about 2 hours before their vibrancy faded as the day progressed. Okay. That's all for tidbits. Now let's see. Find nice news in here. There we go. Let's see. And I agree with this first one. I do think that it helps. Get some coffee this morning. I got up a little earlier today. How being near water, even virtually, can help your mental health. I think so too. There are scientifically backed reasons that a trip to the ocean or the sound of falling rain are so soothing, and experts say that being more intentional about your exposure to water can be a great addition to your mental health toolbox. If you're in a body of water, your internal state just becomes calm. Dr. Natalie Azar recently told Today, it's something that I think we've all experienced, but we've never really been intentional about. One of the great things about this particular mental health booster is that any bit of water counts. Azar said, if you don't live near a major body of water, urban fountains and canals count too, as do pools and even bathtubs. And if accessing any of that is a challenge, you can also reap benefits from simply listening to or watching water. There are plenty of options online that offer the sound of waves crashing or the gentle ripples on a peaceful lake. You only need maybe up to 2 hours a week, Azar said, so a couple of minutes every day of that exposure can make a real difference. Okay, previously unseen Charles Dickens letters will be displayed for first time. This is a treat for literature lovers. 11 previously unseen letters from Charles Dickens are set to go on display at a London museum for the very first time. The letters, written by the author of classics like Oliver Twist, A Christmas Carol, and Great Expectations, are part of a larger collection acquired by the Charles Dickens Museum. In total, the collection is worth £1.8 million, equivalent of over $2 million. In one letter from 1866, Dickens laments losing the Sunday Postal Service. Museum curator Emily Dunbar said this note, among others, is evidence that Dickens was aware of his growing fame. One of the best things about this collection of letters is that it shows Dickens writing in his 30s, 40s, and 50s, and the variety of topics that were occupying his mind, she said. The letter complaining about the loss of Sunday postal delivery is a great example of Dickens showing self-importance, his awareness of his great fame and position in society coming to the fore. The exhibit will be on display at the museum and online beginning today so that anyone can dive into the literary legend's life was like, into what the life was like. Online, that might be interesting to check out. Okay, here says, women barred from school sports pre-Title 4 or 9 hit the pitch at Adult Soccer Fest. My Greek numbers are not that great. That's a 9, I believe, IX. For many of the women at the Adult Soccer Fest earlier this summer, lacing up their cleats and hitting the pitch was making up for lost time. The Chattanooga, Tennessee tournament has age divisions ranging from 40 to over 70, meaning that those in older age groups grew up in the world before Title IX. The landmark legislation passed in 1972 forbade discrimination based on sex in education programs or activities and opened the door for girls to have the same opportunities that boys when it came to school athletics. Prior to Title IX, girls were often only able to play sports in gym class or by trying out for the boys' teams if they were allowed. You didn't have as much as the boys did, and you felt it. 74-year-old Sharon Murray, one of the adult Soccer Fest attendees, recalled to the New York Times. Now Murray and her fellow players are finding a way to cash in on the benefits of team sports, from physical exercise to the camaraderie and bonding that can be taken off the field as well. I don't find that in any other part of my life, Sherry Knighton, 74, said. Wow, okay, that's great. All right, everybody. That's it for today's Tidbits Nice News and Morning Coffee Break. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I hope you'll press that like button. Also, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this out. And hit that so you get all my videos as soon as they come out. All right, everybody, check out that my cooking video today. I don't do many of those. If I get a lot of views on them, you know, I'd be more likely to do more of them. So check it out for me and see what you think. If you've never made homemade fries, you could do it now. And not fried, not in oil. No, I baked them. So, yep. So they're good. Bye, everybody. Have a great day, and God bless.